begins. My heart is full. My ears are even fuller. You think that some things are peculiar, some experiences are peculiar with you, but then when you hear other people's stories, hmm, you're humbled, you're challenged, you're inspired, you're motivated. But we'll talk about all of that when the time is right and when I have permission to share the stories, or when they can indeed come by themselves to sit here and let's learn from their journey. I wanted to start this episode with a scripture that rings a bell in my head every single time, but I felt like saying that because we had like almost 2 hours before we started this shoot, and I believe that whatever we discussed has set a tone for what we are going to discuss, like me and the team, right? Or the team and I, rather. A kind man, a good man, leaves an inheritance for his children's children. We've been talking about legacy conscious parenting for a while now, and I think it was a few days ago it hit me that I've never really told you, that we've never really talked about who a legacy conscious parent is. But before I begin saying what or who a legacy conscious parent is, let me define what legacy consciousness in parenting means, or legacy conscious parenting means, from how I imagined it, from how I dreamt about it, from how I thought about it. Legacy consciousness or legacy conscious parenting just means thinking about the values, the principles, the decisions you make, the principles you live by, the values that you abide by or live by, and how they not only impact or influence your life, but those of your children's children. Think about it from leaving a legacy for your children's children, right? Leaving an inheritance for them. Legacy in this instance is no longer about what you're going to leave behind when you're gone. It's no longer about the houses or the land or the cars or the deeds. No, it's about the value systems, the relationships, the mindset, the love, the way you live, the calm, the peace, the way you resolve conflicts, and all in between that you have to live by, first and foremost, model to your children and bequeath to them. So wealth is no longer just about riches as per I have a house in Banana Island, I have this hotel in Ikoyi, there's a property in Dubai to give my kid. It's about how you are peaceful, how you are grounded, and how you teach them this groundedness, how you teach them to be anchored in a disoriented world, how you teach them to honor people, how you teach them to live with integrity. What's the best way to teach a child something? Modeling, because monkey sees and monkey does. Children learn a lot by imitation, sorry, by observation and then imitation. It's easier for them to see you live these things and for them to carry it on too. Don't you agree? Now that we've gone on and on about what legacy conscious parenting is about, I'll go on to tell you who a legacy conscious parent is not. One day, someone commented on my status update. I don't know, WhatsApp stories for me or statuses for me are a place where I connect with friends and loved ones and the tribe. It feels more second nature to me than Instagram stories. I hope that someday I'll get there too with Instagram. And she goes and she says, if parenting were a destination, Laurie, you'd have arrived by now. Oh my god, I was laughing. I was laughing because I had a long list of the things I did not know how to do, the places I was having challenges in, that if I told her, to definitely shock her, right? So saying that if parenting, excellence in parenting were a destination, or if parenting were a destination, I would have long arrived. You struck me, I'm not gonna lie, because man, we are eking out our salvation every day. So who is a legacy conscious parent? Not a legacy conscious parent is not perfect, right? I don't have it all figured out. There are still instances where I ask myself, you should say to flog this pikin, no go better pass. Make I just leave am there. I can't dey preach like you need to calm down, take deep breaths and all. If I slap you like this, factory reset straight up, right? But you see, would it be a case of honor or obedience or a case of fear so I can control her? So I find myself asking myself these questions and irking out my salvation daily with fear and trembling because it's easier to just pick up a cane and flog her, like flog her blue black. But then when I remember that, is this what I want to bequeath? Is it what I want to model to them? Guess what? I tell myself, you know what? I would help her calm down. I'll show her how to self regulate. Now, I've said this several times. That last one, she's always testing me. She's the one that will come and pass boundaries and want to see how you'd respond and react to it. So, a legacy conscious parent is not perfect. I'm not flawless at all. I still get sarcastic and then catch myself and say, oh God, girls, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Do you know that sarcasm is fun? Like, mommy, where should I put this thing? Put it on my head. It's so sweet, like it's funny. But at the end of the day, you see that did we really enjoy when we were growing up when those things you said to us? Not really. So doing it again and passing on, perpetuating that cycle, really, somehow, right? A legacy conscious parent is yeah, we've talked about not perfect, doesn't have it all figured out. A legacy conscious parent is not infallible. Like we're not above mistakes. Our parents sold us this infallibility mindset that they'll do something and they cannot even tell you sorry. Instead, they'll be asking me, "Where are you on girl?" Okay, see, I wanted to throw a sarcastic banter there now. You see, caught in the act, but thank God I caught myself. We're not infallible. We make mistakes. Sometimes fall, sometimes falter. There are times we get out of schedule. There are times we struggle too with ourselves. There are times we are at conflict with being very authentic, especially in this world where they tell you come as you are, but then they come to this masquerade ball in masks. Yet you have come with your face and you're wondering, now let me waka come. They say be authentic, and when you share a weakness that they use it as a reason to X you. Like, no, I cannot be around this person because of this flaw. So you are caught between being authentic and showing up as your authentic self and shielding up and wearing out or putting on the armor. They tell you to put your guards down to drop the armor, but when you do, they go turn around and say things or do things that hurt you. They tell you that you're one of them, but they act to you like you're beneath them. You see, a legacy conscious parent is not infallible. I think I'll leave you with a final thing a legacy conscious parent is not, so we can get into what a legacy conscious parent is. A legacy conscious parent sometimes is a conflict with fulfilling purpose. I'm saying this from my point of view, right? Fulfilling purpose and showing up for the family. You see, you want to go to the zenith of your career, but at the same time, parenting requires presence, right? You have to. Right now, it's almost 11 p.m. and that's when we're shooting this episode because I had to be in the forefront. Because there's a quote I pray with every day. The most important work you would ever do is within the four walls of your home. I remind myself every day so that in case I'm trying to launch forward and save the world, I'd remember too that my first place of primary assignment is my family. I find myself battling with, okay, should I go ahead in the highest expression of who I know I'm capable of and what I'm capable of doing? But at the same time, one Logie always says that time is the currency of destiny. If I plunge ahead and I don't have time to parent my kids, what happens? You see, we're always having to choose every single day. We're always trying to create harmony. A legacy conscious parent does not have balance. Instead, we try to harmonize what's important in this season per time, what is essential in this season per time. And as Greg McKeown put it, essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less. So we try to declutter, so we try to pick up what's really important, what I call glass balls, so that we would not lose sight of what's important, right? In the pursuit of what's not so important. Now that we've talked about what legacy conscious parenting is and who a legacy conscious parent is not, let's talk about who a legacy conscious parent is. Number one, a legacy conscious parent is one who is not afraid to try. It's not afraid to fail. It's not afraid rather or ashamed to fall and pick themselves back up and keep going. We don't have the map. Some people were privileged to be born into a home where certain things have been put in place, right? That they are now just maintaining. Some of us are having to build certain things. Some of us are having to chart the course for what gentle parenting looks like, from what emotional intelligence looks like, for what being present and not just present, but present in love looks like, for what sacrificing a lot looks like. And guess what? Because we do not have the map, we are making it and traveling the journey at the same time, meaning we are failing in real time and learning on the job. Meaning, you could collect stray bullets, still get up, treat, remove the bullet from yourself, treat the wound, continue. Because at the end of the day, as a team member just said, if I don't do it, who go do it? If I don't do it, who will do it? If I don't do it now, my child would have to. At least if I set the foundation now, it'll be easier for my daughters to continue, correct? If I set the pace now, it'll be easier. Whatever I build will be the barest minimum because they will now have to build up on it. And that is how the legacy continues. I want to be remembered as that mother, that grandma who started this. Let this end with me, that this will begin from me. Let the cycle of psychological, verbal abuse end with me so that this can begin with me, so that softness, swiftness, suppleness can begin from me. See, if I tell people that I'm glad that we do not the what we do not go through, like we do not carry what we went through on us, because the scars would have been like tattoo sleeves, like there would have been no space. You see, healing from a lot and making sure that you don't pass them on, it's a lot of work to do in real time because you're not just healing, you are raising children too from your hurt that you're ensuring that you do not pass on. So sometimes you fall, but what you are as a legacy conscious parent is that you are resilient, you are dogged, you are determined, and you're saying, if I have to bend my back or break it so I don't carry this on to my children, if I die, I die. If I perish, I perish. For my children shall inherit generational blessings, godly legacy, not generational trauma. If generational curses are a thing, then I stand on my authority as a parent and a co-creator with God and say, generational blessings shall begin from me. I'm not saying there's going to be ease all the way. I'm not saying that they will not have challenges, but there are certain things that you can say, hey, this my child will not see this suffer that I suffered. Not physical suffering or that builds toughness or doggedness in us, but the kind of suffer that man, low self-esteem as a result of the words that were said to you by people who were meant to bless you. Not because they meant to damage you, not because they meant for these words to actually hurt, but because they came from the much that they knew, from where they are coming from themselves. But because they did not heal, probably because survival was the zeitgeist, right? They had to survive. Now, can you pause and rechart? Even if I have to be hungry, even if I have to not have dirty December, just so that I would live a certain way, so that my children can not go through certain things I went through. Number two, a legacy conscious parent is a continuous learner. I tell my daughters that life is a school. The more you live, the more you learn. And the day you stop learning is the day you die. We are constantly learning. Whatever I do here with legacy conscious parenting is not for everyone. It's not for every parent because I've been walking the parenting walk myself, and they came to a point in my life where I became a legacy conscious parent. I wasn't always this way. I wasn't always thinking about what I'll be remembered for, right? So it's okay if you are not in that place yet on your journey. I'm not saying to diss anyone. It's okay. You can maybe save this episode and come back to it much later. Because you may be in a place where making ends meet is it for you right now. No, people don't chop, don't get daily bread, they think of legacy. That's what some people say. But think of it as legacy, not as property or the Bugatti or the Ferrari you are living, but the conscious way of life. You can see, you can still not have so much, but guess what? Still be able to model integrity. We're not together like that way they grow, but there's certain things my father will not do because we don't have. He's the one that sold it to us that a good name is better than riches. We're not together like that, but they will send us home for school fees. My mother will send us back and say, why else am I struggling? If not to make sure that people have the education that I did not have the way I would have wanted it then. Do you understand? And finally, I'm just going to leave you with three so that you will not have too many to work with right now. A legacy conscious parent is aware that he or she is a co-creator with God. I read a post somewhere about you not being the CEO, but God is, and you going to God for direction. And I thought of it from the point of view of a parent. Not be you get the king, you're just a caretaker. When things get tough for me, I'm going to share this with you. I hope it helps you too. I go back to God and I say, alone, like with my humanness, how would I have given birth to a child like this? Does it not concern you? Like, don't you wonder somehow how a child comes to be? Like, I have had babies, yeah. I am holding a baby in my hand, and it's not like hand is somewhere that they took it inside she. They can't they drag her hand somehow, the hand can't they go. I've seen them grow, and I'm wondering where is the hair coming from? You will cut her hair, will grow back. Did he hide in this skull? How is this foot that was this small before now size 40 or size 43? How did they grow? I don't know biology or chemistry, or they'll talk about cells and mutation and whatnot, but does it not fascinate you? It means that there's God that controls something, right? That has put things in place to make it this way. So how about we go back to God and ask, see, this pikin wey you give me, who he be? This pikin wey you give me, so who he be? How you take one man raise am? How you want man run am? Because if we, by strength indeed shall no man prevail, right? And those that know their God shall do exploits. What if you know what the agenda of God concerning your child's life was, and the child began to do exploits early enough because you entered the partnership with God as co-creators and you were able to raise the child in that manner? We are co-creators. What if we learned to walk in that anointing? They say with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I grew up with that for a long time until someone paused and said, do you also know that with great responsibility comes great power? Yes. Whatever it is you think you're going through right now, you've been graced for it. As a dad, as a mom. Whatever difficulty you are facing as a parent right now, it is because you have the power for it. That's why. So, as co creators, can we begin to ask questions of God? In this season, who is this child? Who am I meant to be to guide them through it? What's their purpose? Who is this child in this season? What am I supposed to do? What sacrifice am I supposed to make? Who am I supposed to become in order to be able to steward the talents, the gifts that you have put in this child? Sometimes it will mean you learning things that you did not know you needed to learn too. I had to learn emotional intelligence. He got to a point I could no longer bleed on the children that did not cut me. Now, see, remember, I am still on the journey. I'm not in any way saying I'm perfect. I'm giving an example because it is my lived experience, right? I'm saying this is what I had to learn so that you too you can use it as an inspiration. Think about it. What do you need to learn today? Who do you need to become? How do you need to morph or metamorphose? How do you need to continue your reinvention process so that you can continue to steward the talents, the gifts that God has put in these children that are in your custody? As co-creators, my child will be this. Have you run it by God? Who gave you these people to take care of in the first place? It's indeed a privilege to be called to be parents, to be able to continue God's agenda for humanity. But at the end of the day, if we do it by ourselves, if we do not do it with legacy consciousness, believing that whatever we're doing today affects the generation that's to come and the one after that, guess what? Are we going to be continuing that grand plan? I'll end this episode by saying that it's not just enough anymore to have a name. Yes, we know that name. It's not just enough to have property. Can we begin now to start thinking about our choices, our values, what memories our children will have? Will they remember how you bought them PS5, or will they remember how you were there with them? Sometimes what matters to children is the presence, not really the presence. I'm inviting you on this journey with me, to go on this movement with me, because I mean, what will you be remembered for? If you died today, what will you be remembered for? If you passed today, will your children be able to thrive? Because you've given them the toolbox with which to face the world, with which to thrive. The values you are living, the values you have right now, are you living by them or they're just on paper? Are you modeling them? And do you think you can bequeath them to your children? Finally begins. Remember that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. What are you leaving for your children? Are you that father, that mother that your child would say, I want to be like tomorrow? I want to be a dad. I want to be a father. I want to be a husband like him. I want to be a mom. I want to be a wife. I want to be a woman like her. Or are you the one that's saying, God forbid, I can never be like that person? Are you inspiring them to be like you or inspiring them not to be like you? The choice is yours. Thank you so much for spending time with us on every episode and for thinking on this one. For not just watching it like every other one, but for accepting our invitation to join the movement to be more legacy conscious. Make one legacy conscious choice every single day. And until we meet again in yet another insightful episode of the Legacy Conscious Parenting Podcast, don't just stay excellent. Continue living by your values, modeling them, and ensuring that they are values that you can bequeath to your children. See you on the next one.